Okay, can go over some gear here. A couple of scenarios where this gear can be used. Basically, I'll throw this gear in my day pack or hang it from this roly-poly pouch in a little belt. I have a running belt, a high-vis running belt on order. They're like 10 bucks from Amazon, so it helps be visible when I'm walking out on the roads at night. It's dark here at like 6:30, walking the dogs. Another scenario where I might use it is I'm on the state forest just on a quick hike with the dogs. Maybe I'll end up getting stuck there for a couple hours longer than I wished. Again, this isn't going to work in 20 below zero, but you know it'll help me in a lot of situations. Maybe I come across somebody that needs some gear repair. Maybe I get dunked in the creek and my feet are wet. Maybe my wife and I are out driving and we decide to spend a night at the bed and breakfast, and there's some kind of a power situation overnight, or there is some kind of a natural disaster. This gear will help me kind of live out an unexpected situation in a lot of scenarios. Not every scenario, and again, this could go in an EDC bag. So you can think the things I'm thinking of now. Not all this gear is going to be able to be taken on an airplane. Not all this gear is going to be legal inside a courthouse. Not all this gear is going to be legal on every street, in every city. But most places, this stuff won't be frowned upon if you're not using it in some kind of a threatening manner. Water, always take this 20-ounce bottle with a clip on it. That I'm using a Chubb's clip and a little swivel beaner there. And I usually have 1 liter besides that. So I always have water. A couple of protein bars. This is a little bit of the stuff that's used to tie up bread twist ties. You can buy this at the Home Depot or Menards or whatever in a roll, and it's wire on the inside, plastic on the outside. Not the toughest stuff, but pretty handy. Some mason line here. This is some people use bank line instead. This is plain tough. There's no paracord in this kit, so I use this instead. I can take this and improvise a shelter with this emergency adventure medical kit blanket. I can do a lot of things with it. Here's a little bit of elastic 3/8 inch braided line. I can make rubber bands. It's kind of a shock cord replacement. It's not as tough as shock cord. 97 cents at Walmart. And here's some Caldacine powder. So if I need to put a little bit on my feet, I'm walking a lot, a rash, it'll help on it. It's basically zinc powder. It can be used for a number of things. Freshening things up, freshening your socks up. Pick lighter, everybody knows about that. Adventure medical kit, survive outdoors, longer 2-person blanket. These are better than the cheap Mylar ones. They're a little bulkier, but they're reusable. A Walmart 150 lumen headlamp. This is available $7 if you do site to store, and $12 if you buy them in store. This is a good deal. Here it is. Comes with 3 batteries. It has one fatal flaw, and that's it'll turn on if it's in your pocket and pack. It's that easy to turn on. So you need to reverse a battery if it's in your pocket or pack and it's not on your head. 2 tea candles. So I just duct tape these together. It says 2 candles. Each one lasts about 2 hours. Of course, I take the duct tape off. Amazing what you can do with a candle. This is a Right in the Rain waterproof notebook. Bandana. Here's a couple of tools. Very controversial. Again, you'll see there's no multi-tool in here. So this is my multi-tool replacement. 4-inch pair of vice grips. This I got from Harbor Freight. Now these are pretty cheap. I prefer the vice grip band version, but theirs are bigger and heavier. This is pretty light here. 2-way screwdriver. Again, not something that's going to be allowed on a plane, but be surprised how many times I've used this. Now this isn't for full-size screws, so you do have some limitations there. Pair of EMT shears, 5¼ inch EMT shears, 10 bucks off of Amazon. A couple of 12-hour light sticks. These come in a box of 10 for $10 off of Amazon. Really helpful. If you get dunked in a lake, those things still work, as long as you don't break them beforehand. Pencil, a Sharpie, and then here's just a Lexan spoon. You'd be surprised how many times you need a spoon you don't have one. A couple of hot hand warmers, a Fox 40 whistle, a hand sanitizer, and a couple office binder clips. Now ideally I'd have more than this, but you'd be surprised what I could do with some tape, binder clips, this blanket, a little bit of netting, whatever. Whistle. Whistle is very important. I think these should be emphasized to be used more, especially with kids. And cell phones got their place, but a whistle has a lot of advantages. Obviously, very loud. This is my hygiene first aid kit. Nothing's really special in here. A couple of wet ones, some Colgate Wisps, nitro gloves, roll of athletic tape, lip balm, a couple of 2x2 gauze pads, some triple antibiotic ointment, a pair of tweezers, and then the kind of unique thing that I do carry and a little controversial is a little light nail brush and a couple of chlorine cleaning tabs. Now this basically is bleach. It's not meant to purify water, but it's bleach that can be used to help sanitize a surface. So that's provided helpful in a number of scenarios, in my opinion. A pair of wool socks in case mine get wet, and this is the Condor version of the Roly Poly Maxpedition pouch. These are like $13 on Amazon. All this stuff, other than the water, fits in this, so it's a nice handy way to just throw it on your belt. It has the MOLLE clips. The Maxpedition makes a version that's a lot more expensive. Again, this version for 13 bucks comes in black, olive drab, and this desert color. I think this is the most neutral. So again, this is what I'm using, just different scenarios. Just kind of think of things that you could be using in your head. Now, I'm not a big fan of Gerber and Fiskars, but they do make some okay stuff, and this, I think, is one of them. This is a seatbelt cutter safety knife blade, and it's flat on one side and got a bevel on the other, so it would be difficult to sharpen. You would have to sharpen this on sandpaper like a flat chisel, but it is sharp and it does work. I have heard it's accepted to be a non-knife item in most places now. Anything can get confiscated nowadays. And here's some seatbelt material, and I did prove it cut right through it. So it comes sharp, and it could be sharpened. So that could go on your keychain. So that's it. Just trying to keep it brief and give you some ideas of non-traditional, duct tape for everything.